Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the panda photographer, and I uploaded a video, a short video about a homeless man named Alex. Mind you, you guys may have seen this person on this channel a few times in the last 3 years. But I wanted to address something that YouTube doesn't want you to address. That is homelessness and mental health services and awareness. YouTube has been demonetizing anything that has to do with homelessness, chronic homelessness, mental health homelessness, without understanding the content in full. Ladies and gentlemen, on Memorial Day, this past Monday, a homeless Polish man named Alex has died on the streets of New York City in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. So, take this video with a grain of salt as an awareness video. Alex was going through chronic drug abuse, drinking abuse, substance abuse, mental health abuse. And the past 3 years, I've seen him off and on, mind you, I'm not always around. But there needs to be some accountability here in New York City. Yes, the person has chronic mental state problems. And yes, the person has sought rehab a few times. But that doesn't give the city or people the right to just say, we're just going to give up on this person. Well, and you do have to actually blame the person for giving up on themselves as well. But no one's going to talk about these topics. No one's going to ever address these topics on this platform. And when these topics do come upon this platform, it's always being suppressed, shadow banned, or demonetized or ghost. Because YouTube doesn't think these videos are advertiser friendly. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I was a 501c3 and I was to propose this argument on this platform, they will make it monetized friendly. But since I don't want to bend over or kiss the YouTube ass, I'm not going to sit here and do that. You folks have the right to understand that this man passed away on the day that he's supposed to be celebrating. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just came from the courthouse this morning. Had to do some stuff. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to discuss about it. But I just want people to aware that no one cares for the homeless in this city like they claim to. All these 501c3s, all these wannabe, I want to help. No, you don't. Yes. So in theory, Justin contributed to his death with all the drugs and alcohol. Mind you, he walked past me yesterday as I'm on the phone trying to debate with an attorney about these charges in Wisconsin against John P. Herrera, right? He's talking about, Alex died and these kids killed. Mind you, he said it this way. And the kids, they killed him. Like, no, the streets, the city, his drug abuse, his alcohol abuse, mind you, he had bad health. All that contribute. Kids do not contribute to, I don't know how many years of self-abuse. This is why this needs to be shared. This needs to be aware. People do not actually care in the city. For instance, the other day, I literally was sleeping somewhere, and this guy and a dog just gonna tell me, mind you, it's like 12 o'clock at night, 12:30. It's gonna tell me, you can't be here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a fucking public sidewalk. Everyone in this city pays for it. Taxpayers, everyone. For a civilian to tell you You're not supposed to be here. I can understand if the person's on your private property, which is not. But this is a public sidewalk. I can walk, I can piss, I can shit on this public sidewalk. If an officer, no, I'm not saying you could shit on the sidewalk. I don't think you should do that. But I have seen people do it because you know why? There's no restrooms. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a public sidewalk. We all walk down it, we pay for it. Mind you, you don't own it just because, mind you, your building is in front of the sidewalk. Doesn't mean you own the sidewalk. You see how this gate is? This is what property in New York City you own. There's a property limit. If I'm outside this gate, then I'm in my right. If I'm on the other side of that gate, I'm trespassing. But no, a civilian is going to tell me I'm not supposed to be there. Then some junkie on a bike decides to do the same thing. I guess he was hating because I got a nice little spot. But then again, we were sick. See? I just wanted to share this one because no one cares. Everybody wants to see other content that I guess that excites them. Listen, folks, this is not supposed to excite you. This is supposed to make you think hard. Think about the person next to you right now. He or she can be homeless at any time, any day. Doesn't matter. It can happen tomorrow. It could happen in a month from now. Just look at the person next to you and ask them, would you always have my back? Would you always, even if I'm homeless, would you look out for the best interests of me? You know me better. Ask the person next to you, would they look out for you if you ever go down and out? Can I sleep on your couch? Can I help try to pace? Listen, I know I don't have a good job right now, or I lost whatever I had, but I'm gonna make it back. But people in the city don't do that. So, because someone asked me, why don't the rollerblades fucking invite you over to their place? No. See, that's the thing. These rollerblades are in this city, or they either have roommates, like 4 or 5 roommates. Oh, you think they're paying $4,000 rent by themselves? Hell no. These dudes live with roommates. They at least have 3 roommates. You think they splitting that $4,000? Yes, they splitting that $4,000 3 ways in a 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah, that's not a 3-bedroom apartment for 3 people. No, that's a 2-bedroom apartment meant for 2 people. Or a mother and father and a child. Just keep that in mind. But as I walk and want to talk about the death, what happens to homeless people after they die? Let me tell you what the city does to homeless people when people like you do not give a shit or claim your relatives. They just either have options. They can cremate you and never tell us so who you were, or tell anyone, or you can put you on an island here in New York City where they can just bury you and put you on an island and no one, mind you, you get a number. You don't even get a name on your tombstone, you get a number. That's right, you get a number. It's like the Holocaust, you get a fucking number. This is what they do to the homeless, they don't care. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you care? Do you give a fuck enough to care what they do to the homeless after they die? A lot of people don't. No one ever asks that question. And this community is empty once again. We've been coming by, checking out the community fridge. But ask that question, ladies and gentlemen. See, the community fridge has been empty days, friends. No love for the last couple of days for me. And for everyone else that utilized that community refrigerator. It's been super dry. Mind you, this is Memorial Day that's just passed. You guys had cookouts and all that shit, right? You know how much food I saw in the trash that could have been, transfer over to the community fridge. I'm talking to all you ghetto-ass people in this neighborhood and all you rich people that do away so much food. I'm talking to every last one of you folks. You have community refrigerators here in New York City by One Love Community. Google it. You could have donated all that food. Guys, I saw a trash bag, even though the rats got to it first. Dude, it looked like it had burgers, Walmans, perfectly, I'm not sure it's perfectly now. The worms and the bugs got too, but there was Walmans that could have been fed to someone. The city is very wasteful. This is why the homeless here don't stand a fucking chance. 2.6 million homeless men and women. That includes your Grubhub delivery drivers, that includes your Uber drivers, that includes everyone that has a job 9 to 5. Yes, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, the Grubhub drivers, all of those people are houseless. Well, not all of them, majority of them. The ones that are on the bikes delivering your food, they're the ones that gotta sleep and break night all night, sleeping in the same clothes, in the same jumpsuit. Mind you, they got connections because some of them have the ability to go take a shower. They know where the bathhouses are, but sometimes you just don't want to go to the bathhouses all the time because people are literally looking out to steal your shit. They break in your lockers when you're trying to take a bath, or try to take. Oh, this is why people prefer to go to a friend's house. They'd rather go to a friend's house and take a shower safely, knowing that their belongings are never going to get stolen. So, ladies and gentlemen, what happens to the homeless when they die? No one wants to know because everyone's afraid to know. But what happens to the homeless? No one cares. They get a fucking barcode number, they get either buried on an island, or they get cremated, or they just don't tell, sometimes they don't even make the effort to contact your loved ones. They don't even want to do the DNA database search. They don't even want to do that. If you're not paying, hey, we're not working. Look at that. If you guys want to know, look, a free air pump right here in the middle of Bush. Mind you, this is East Williamsburg. Yeah, that's an air pump. If you ever want some air in your bike, ladies and gentlemen, that's a free air pump. Keep that in mind. Right here on Manhattan Avenue, right across the street from the Van Skate Park. So if you are a bicyclist and you need air, that's free air. See? You see that some people in the city, they do care. They want to give back the resources. Because you go to a gas station, they charge you $1 for air. Welcome to New York. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you guys know what happens to the homeless. You guys want to know? Because obviously you should, because this is probably your loved ones. Yeah, this is probably one of your loved ones you've been looking for. This is why no one cares to look for people like us. Mind you, I say us is because I am part of that category. But I'm not part of that category where I talked about earlier about Alex, when his drinking and chronic homelessness takes place. See? Not only he had health problems, but the city knew that he had health problems. Yeah, he probably had a social worker and all that. He didn't probably go like he's supposed to. But that's when the social worker is supposed to make the effort to say, you know what, I'm going to go out and go look for this guy. See, in Wisconsin, we did that to our clients. We looked for our clients. We knew where our clients hang out, so we go and look for them. See, New York fucking social workers are so lazy. They don't want to put in the work. This is why in each state, social services works totally different. You have some that actually know how to do their jobs. You have some that do not know how to apply to their jobs. You have some that just want a job because it just pays the bills. They don't even know how to do the job. By the way, this is a very nice, I heard good things about this Japanese cuisine place. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just don't get why people are just ignoring my videos about homelessness. Yeah, some people put themselves out there, but some people, can I be honest with you? Some people can make it in life to a certain point and just fail afterwards, or just doesn't have the best of luck. Or, you know, times are changing. Look at the times. Right now, how many of these senior citizens know how to work an iPad? But, okay, you want to hear more proof? How many Americans get ripped off by scams using their devices? Do you want to know that statistic? On average, every 5 minutes, 20 people are being scammed. And you are the one of them, because you are not tech savvy. So when the scammers, mind you, I'm bringing a good, this is a good point. This is a very good point. Because there are a lot of people that think they can solve the homeless issue, right? But mind you, you have a cell phone. You get scammed all the time. And you fall for these scams, and you just throw your money at these scams. But you won't throw your money to the right homeless causes. Or build your own. If you feel uncomfortable with a 501c3, or you just feel this organization doesn't, it doesn't fulfill what you heard or what people have been talking about and what you have seen so far from this 501c3. You want to start your own stuff, or you want to share awareness. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I'm homeless too, right? But I go out here and ask all these restaurants if they have food leftovers. If you do, you have an Instagram, DM me. I'll come pick the food. I donate it to a community refrigerator. Sharing is the best way how to, you know, be proactive, but show awareness about hunger and homelessness, right? But it's also, mind you, giving an idea. The idea of, listen, if I can do it, every one last one of you homeless individuals can do it too. Instead of drinking and doing all the bullshit, you could just spend half your day doing something positive for your community, cleaning the streets, asking your neighbors, you want me to help you with your groceries, walk into the store. Don't ask for anything in return. If people want to give you something in return, let it happen freely. But, you know, what happens to homeless people after they die? No one wants to know because no one cares. But I can tell you right now, you're a number, you're a statistic. After you are cremated or you bury or they just, whatever, I'm not going to say the other things they will probably do to your body. After they are done with your body, you don't exist. And then, let's say 10, 20 years from now, someone found out that, oh, that was my relative. Well, we don't actually know where we buried. Yeah, it's like we have paperwork on him or her, blah, blah, blah. This is all we got. Take it with a grain of salt. You don't even get a picture. But that's the thing. Every last homeless person in the city has been forgotten. I guarantee there are homeless people before us that have been forgotten, that never actually, no one's ever actually said, hey, what about my ancestors? Who was before me? Or, yeah, exactly. Do I even have relatives in New York City? If that's so, then maybe, yeah, I guarantee each and last person here in this city that's a native have at least 2 relatives that are homeless in this city. If you're a New Yorker, you know that I'm telling the truth. You at least have 2 relatives that are homeless in this city. While the rest of your family is either in Section 8 housing, trying to fight the good fight, trying to pay their bills. Don't sit here and say that's not true, because that is a true statistic. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's early in the morning. I just came from the courthouse, taking care of some private things I need to get established, since people want to tarnish and destroy my reputation on this platform, on my YouTube channel. So I got a little surprise for those people when they get served out of nowhere by chefs. Yeah, I'm cracking down on this stuff. Since YouTube doesn't want to do anything about it, I physically have to do something about it legally. I got my job taken from me from the internet, because my job was, I was working, and the internet called my job so many times that they got so sick of it, they said that we can't handle this anymore, because I'm not only putting myself at danger, but I'm putting my other colleagues at danger. What if one of these YouTuber fans of yours decide to come to the location and decides to do something to harm someone? We can't take that risk. And I can understand where they're coming from. So, ladies and gentlemen, I lost my job because of the internet. The internet could be a beautiful thing, but it's a very toxic place where there's a lot of people that don't see eye to eye, that think you owe them something when you never do. You're just trying to tell a story. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna get going. But before I go, please support this channel. And by the way, this is the last day of this free phone service that I've been testing out. I've been testing quite a few of them. Mind you, the worst probably, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm saying that Google Fi is probably the worst. I never experienced on the first day using that service. And then they try to charge me after mind you, never signed up for the service. Then they claimed that I signed up in 2019. That was pretty bad. That was a lie, because they tried to make it seem like I did. And I was like, then give me this phone number associated with that. There was never a complete, mind you, they even said the application was never complete. Then why you try to force it to say that, they try to bill me. And I threw it right back at their face. Google, nice try. But by far, I would have to say Mint Mobile and Visible by Horizon is the better one. But I'm gonna go with the Visible. If I get my hands on $45 right now and turn on this, well, it's not this service, because this service is, it's okay. I'm starting to see some inconsistencies. You may have seen that, like the interruptions. You may have seen the interruptions. It's weird. If you have seen interruptions in this live stream or any forward skipping, that is probably the service. But by far the best service right now, if you want to pay for 3 months and or have an option, I say or and because there's 2 options. If you want to pay 3 months like Mint Mobile does, you can do that with you can do that with Mint and Visible. But the difference with Visible is you can also pay monthly. That's right, but you can't do that with Mint. But also the difference is that Visible has priority LTE, which means you constantly get LTE service and not throttled down. Unlike Mint, it's unlimited data and everything, but you will see a throttle down back to 4G LTE. So take it with a grain of salt. And I really think that Visible by Horizon, by far, and you can live stream in 4K, with Visible, but with Mint Mobile, you can't live stream in 4K, only in 1080p and 720p. So this is where Visible shines the best, because not only at a $45 value, it still works even if you do a top up or you do like what they call like a automatic pay. You save money. You basically pay $40 a month when you use that service, so you're also saving a couple of dollars. So when I get money, I am going to choose this service, because I want to convert my number to that service. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get going. But what happens to homeless people in this city? No one cares. But I want to address something really quickly here. And this is to those that are in Greenpoint. Do not give anyone, including Justin, any money for alcohol, because all we are doing is contribute. This is why I told you, ladies and gentlemen, I do not give Justin money. If you want something, you want something to eat, I can go get it. I can come bring it. But other than that, do not give him money, because he's going to spend money on what is that alcohol called? It's called ice something. So they get like this 4-bottle liquor of ice, whatever it is called. I don't know. Listen, folks, this is why I don't want to contribute to anybody's harm. If I'm going to contribute to harm, I harm myself. Simple as that. This is why I said in the comments, I'd rather take my own life than use drugs and self-abuse with alcohol. That's just crazy, friend. And I'm saying that as a real person. Because doing drugs and alcohol is just a bitch way to go out. But there's police is up there. There's a lot of activity. I see. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get going. Talk to you guys in the next one.